walk fast, walk alone. But if you want to walk far, then walk with a partner. So that's something that we follow with that ethos. I believe that the partnership where both brand having their own advantages can go a long way. And coming specifically to Crax, I mean, we, as you know, that getting the partnership on paper is really easy, but getting them executed in the fastest manner possible is a key for success. And we saw them that willingness and from the brand Crax, and when the team was interacting, we always wanted to do something with our hero product. As we call it in our F&B, the hero product is popcorn. And first we decided that let's make it right. I mean, we've been operating in the country for last 15 years, but then we were seeing that the sale of popcorn were becoming monotonous. I mean, every time you want to go to the cinema hall, it's true that you want to have your popcorn in your hand, but then how can we get that experience elevated? And that elevated experience we saw can come easily by having a great partner.
See, it's very important in these partnerships that at the center of it is the consumer offering an experience. See, many times you will find a lot of partnerships going awry because it is the two brand objectives trying to come together. Okay, that we want this, you want this, and we try to put together, and we forget that poor person called the consumer who actually will pay for it. So I think this is more credit to the Cinépolis team because they understand their consumers so well that they realize that, see, when a person comes here, we all know it's for the experience, it's not for, and therefore the more you can elevate that experience. And I think they have found a brilliant thing where the consumer doesn't see it as popcorn and cheese balls. They see it as this tub which will go along with their movie experience. And I think that is where the very fact that this is so successful with the conversion means they got it right. They got it right. See, because we are experts at making the product, but they are the experts at knowing their consumer as to what they are looking for. So I think as long as we are very clear that we bring our relative strengths to the table, I think that is what it is. And I am sure this is just one of the very many which we'll plan in the future. For the last 35 years that we have been, most of our consumption has been out of home while traveling. So one of the strategic objectives for us, see, if you look at it, food and beverage sales, packaged or unpackaged, there are three big segments. One is out of home, when people are on the street, on the go. One is in home, and one is what we call on premise, food service, cinema halls, restaurants, etc. We have been predominantly an out of home brand so far. So the two strategic things for us was to go in home, which we are doing through our forays on quick commerce, larger packs, etc. And the third one which Cinépolis has offered, is made it possible for us is to get into on premise, because these three pretty much put together. And the other thing which is important is that it's not just about the volume, but these touch points do carry a lot of value for a brand like ours. Where when you're in a nice atmosphere, you're normally feeling very happy when you go out on a outing with your kids, and also going, it's an experience. And at that time, if you experience the brand and you like the experience, then strategically, the probability of them adopting it outside this is also higher.
In terms of pricing, it is similar to what we sell at cheese popcorn with about 5% premium. So it's quite similar to what we sell popcorn price in the cinemas. In Cinépolis, we will have about 4 crore people visiting this a year across our cinemas. Now, it gives a great boost to a brand, Crax, which is already an established brand for last more than 3.5 decades. But at the same time, it gives that another impulse buying push for a Cinépolis customer where they are already coming in, they are saying something new. They are already relating them with a brand Crax. And then when you put them together and then position it and create awareness with videos playing inside the auditorium, you will have at every when a customer comes to cinema, where right from the buying decision of watching a movie to the entire journey, if you can tap them at every point. we have seen globally how people are really looking forward for their innovation in F&B, and this did not happen overnight. We were seeing that people were continuously giving us feedback, and this actually did not happen in India, but it happened back in Mexico, where people were constantly telling us that give us something more than popcorn, give us something more than cola, give us something more than the nachos that we've been eating for last 30 years. And then we said, why don't we mix first nachos and popcorn? Then we started serving nachos popcorn, and that became like a huge hit. Then we kept on innovating, and every year we come up with one strategic partnership where we give an opportunity for a customer to try out something new, and that the customer is a winner by getting a new flavor. But at the same time, the consumption for F&B, which is very essential for any cinema operator, continues to be on the rise. So to break that, I would say monotonous eating habit and getting something new is what customer wanted, which is what we read back in different countries that we are operating in, all probably 18 countries, and then slowly but gradually across all the countries we are trying to execute this to see if consumer is really looking forward for that. Again, it's at the cinema. When people are physically there with you, getting the tracking, getting the visibility, getting the feedback can be real first-hand information. We hired in the past. We've hired a few professional agencies to understand what are the feedback that customer is giving. Not only that, forget about third brand. Even for our own customer, we hire and engage with these professional agencies with a set of questionnaires we give them to understand what do our consumers are looking for. In fact, precisely the chair that you're sitting on is the result of the feedback that we took at our cinemas from many other cinemas, that we in the past used to have chairs which were like a rocker and the base was fixed, and then a lot of customers were giving us feedback. We of course try and educate them about why we are doing what we are doing and what is good for your back. But eventually, when if customer says, no, this is what I want, okay, and that's what we are here for. So cinema can be the real hero medium, not only to position your brand but also to get a first-hand feedback.
If the consumer loves it here, I think we have to ensure that we keep the exclusivity to this experience, but learning from here is a bounce board. For example, I'll be very, again, this is something, tomorrow, nothing prevents us from doing a co-branded popcorn cheese balls in a package format. Nothing prevents us, because ultimately the same consumer going to different touch points. So nothing prevents us from actually saying we'll give them a great experience here, but do we want to take it outside? We don't know where we will go. Okay, but I think the scope is that if the consumer loves the proposition, then there are many opportunities of monetizing it